All right, good Friday morning. Today's Friday, January 31st, 2025. Last day of January. 2025 is just about over already.
January is
over. We'll be into February at the start of next week, but we won't wish our lives away too fast. Happy Friday, everybody. My name is Dennis Davis, and this is your safety meeting. I work in the safety department alongside Mr. David White here. Good morning, Dave.
Morning.
We are located in the Z building. We are southernmost building on this part of the facility, ground level, center of the room, right next to the pillar. So if you ever have any questions, comments, or concerns, don't hesitate to stop by, and we'll do our best to get you at least pointed in the right direction or get you the answers that you need. We are going to do our best to do this Friday safety meeting just about every Friday morning. We'll probably have to skip a little bit on 4th of July because 4th of July is on a Friday this year.
Yep.
But we'll be here every single week. We are live here in Springfield, Missouri, and we are simulcasting to our other locations in Pittston, Pennsylvania, and Salt Lake City, Utah. And we'll go and visit them a little bit later, but we also are live across all the social media platforms, YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram. Did I miss one? I think that was all of them.
I think that's it. Yeah.
All right. So welcome to our folks that are watching and listening live, and of course, folks that'll be watching and listening sometime here in the future. So as every Friday morning, breakfast is free. So if you haven't ordered at any of our locations, jump in line, place an order. John Blanson and his team do a fantastic job of getting us taken care of. Let's give those folks a round of applause to say thank you. And of course, we always want to thank Robert for giving us the free food. So,
amen. That's right.
All right. So for those that have attended these and have seen these in the past, we've kind of switched the format a little bit. Typically, Dave and I or whoever the hosts are will kind of get into some information safety related, but we're going to break it up a little bit just to change it up. Change is good. Change is probably the only constant in life. So hopefully give us some feedback on what you guys think about kind of the new meeting format and what you see. So thank you guys for being here. We got a lot of good information today. We're going to jump right into the speakers today. We're going to have Kobe and Rachel from Driver Health and Fitness come right on up.
Come on up, guys. Good morning.
Hey, good morning. Thank you, everybody. So good morning, everybody. So again, I'm Kobe, Driver Health and Fitness. Rachel, our on-site dietitian.
Good morning.
And so like every week, we always have a health tip. And this one was kind of I like the idea behind this one. So Rachel, why don't you share with them what this one is?
So we all know it can be a struggle to create new habits, can definitely be a struggle to create healthy habits. That can be even tougher sometimes. But so the tip today is called habit bundling. So this is something that can be used for really anyone. It can be really personalized to whatever your goals are. But basically, if you can go to the next one, Brian, thank you. You are wanting to make your wants depend on your shoulds. So maybe you don't want to do cooking on the truck or like meal prepping on a 34 or something like that. So what you can do is you cook while you're listening to your favorite podcast or audiobook. A couple other examples is like only eating like a special treat with a meal that contains lean protein and veggies so that you know you're balancing out that want with your shoulds of your protein and your veggies. So those are a couple examples from the nutrition side.
Yeah, perfect. So a couple other ones I always like, for instance, here is like working out and then watching your favorite Netflix series. So taking a workout, but also having something you may watch or things like that can help kind of get through it. So able to bundle your wants and your shoulds. Another one's like enjoying coffee or a nice treat on a long walk. Don't really want to go walking, but I do like a nice treat or a nice coffee, maybe bundle the two things together. So that's something, and I don't know, anybody have anything here that they do that maybe they bundle together? Like, man, I got my favorite playlist I listen to. I love music. I don't like to walk. Anybody or any of the terminals have anyone that maybe they want to share? Dee's got one? Come on. I love this bundling. You can count on Dee.
I am a serial learner, so I like to listen to audiobooks when I walk.
There you go. So you enjoy the books and maybe not as much walking, right? So you listen to audiobooks. I love it. We have another one here? Yeah, come on. We got one right here too. I got one right here. There we go. Yeah.
I'm 62 years old, so I've pretty much ate the same thing all my life. So I listen to cooking shows and cook good, healthy meals.
There you
Oh,
go.
that's
Nice.
awesome. Yeah,
Okay.
good.
So which one do you really enjoy? The cooking shows or the cooking?
The cooking shows.
There you go. I like it. Good. So you can implement it. Very good. Me too. Anybody else? I appreciate you guys sharing those. Okay. Awesome. Well, like I said, if you guys have anything you ever want to share with us, there's multiple ways to get in touch with us. I do have one more other thing. Well, Terry with Abacus, will you come up here? So Terry with Abacus, we did a little fundraiser a while back, and I just figured I'd give you a second and then maybe introduce your team a little bit, and then we can talk about it for a second.
Absolutely, absolutely. This is Kimberly and Candace from upstairs in the office. But what we decided to do this year, Truckers Against Trafficking, you all have heard this. Prime has been a big part of that in the past, donating. Abacus has done it as well. So we decided to partner this year. But Truckers Against Trafficking is an organization, it's a nonprofit that started in 2009. Why? Because of this ever-growing crisis of human trafficking. So why Truckers Against Trafficking? Who better than the people that are all across the United States? You are everywhere. And so they train you to spot these poor victims that are in human trafficking. Right now, it's believed to be over 50 million and growing and growing. And it's believed to be over a $230 billion industry for these criminals that take advantage of these people. So that's why we did what we did.
That's right. Yeah. So we put a little pickleball tournament on. You guys may have seen, we just have a lot of in-house people who play a lot of pickleball here. So we invited drivers too. We're going to continue to do it. I think, in my opinion, I think it was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
We raised money. We have the check up here. We raised over $3,000 this year. So give everybody a round of applause between everybody. So
Good job.
great job with that. Like I said, we'll send things out with it when we do it again. But as always, I appreciate you guys, and I appreciate Robert and Prime and us and the associates that did it too.
Yeah, we appreciate you for putting it together.
You
Good
bet.
job.
Great job. Thank you, guys.
All right. Thanks, Kobe. Thanks, Rachel. Thanks, Abacus. Tons of stuff going on right off the bat this morning, Dave.
That was awesome, man. $3,000 for Truckers Against Trafficking. And I'm sure Colby won that pickleball tournament. You know, he's shaking his head over there. He's our athletic guy here, man.
He doesn't meet the age requirement to win a pickleball tournament.
That's true. Yep. He may have a few too many years on him, but hey, that's okay.
So, hey, one of the things we love to see at these meetings, we love to see new folks come into Prime. So typically what that means, our new folks wear the reflective vest because they got some activities to do right after this. So if this is your first week at Prime, brand new to the company, if you would stand for just a second at each of our locations to give us the opportunity to properly greet. Hey, come on up here with the hat. Come on.
I thought she was taking off her vest at first, Dennis. I acting like, she didn't really want to be a part of that.
Stand here
Put it
with
back
me.
on.
Come
That's
stand
good.
here with me. So you came up this morning and you introduced yourself, and before you even got do you have a CDL yet? You almost had an accident over here this morning, didn't you?
No, I was watching for my peripheral.
No, because she almost bumped into Sharon from Trinity, and it was almost a whole big coffee situation, and my hands were full, and I could have grabbed you. It was like, I can't just be grabbing people, so, but hey, you're here. Tell us who you are. Tell us where you're from.
My name is Joya Neal. I'm from Atlanta, Georgia.
There's some folks in the South. So were you in Atlanta, Georgia about like 2 weeks ago when the end of the world came?
And I stayed in the house.
Stayed in the house.
Waited to come here.
Y'all got a little dust in the snow and you just lost your minds, didn't y'all?
Yes, we did.
All right. So, and of course, you're from Atlanta. So that wasn't the first time you ever seen snow, right?
No, but not that much. In probably 50 years.
Okay, well, good. So what lessons did you learn from that you can equate to your future trucking career?
Do not drive on ice.
Okay.
Listen to the weather. Look at the maps for alternative directions.
For somebody that doesn't have a CDL and will get one, she's kind of got it spot on. Really the first piece of coaching that we have for any driver, whether they're, a novice driver or a multi-million mile driver, which we celebrated some million-mile drivers this week, is consider not driving. consider not driving. When you plan your trip, look at the weather, use your technology. If it's not good, consider not driving. I promise you, especially, and not necessarily in Atlanta or Texas where, there's no snowplows around, but definitely in Springfield or in Iowa or in upstate New York, if there's some inclement weather, 1 hour, 6 hours, even a full 10-hour break, the driving conditions will be drastically different then than what they are at the precipice of any storm. So what are you looking forward to the most about this driving career?
Well, I have a awesome class instructor, Miss D, and listening to all the professionals here that tell me more about this program and about driving.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, good deal. So hopefully you'll be back here in a couple weeks to take your CDL exam, and maybe we'll bring you back up here and talk about your experied.
Absolutely.
All right. Thank you so much
Hold
for
on
being
one
with us.
second.
Oh, wait.
Hold
They're not
on
letting you
one
get out of here.
Now, your recruiting process, how did that work out for you? How'd that go?
Heather Merle
Okay.
is amazing. Did she hear?
She not all that.
No, come on.
Did she hear? I would love to meet that woman.
Well, you know what?
Hey, great timing. Heather, come on up.
She's worked with me so much. Take every call, messages, emails. She makes sure I know what to do, what not to do. You've been amazing to get me here. Thank you.
I was like, I recruited her. This is perfect.
One of the good things about working at an awesome company is sometimes things just come together. So, hey, well, we appreciate you being here. You have the opportunity to introduce our next speaker, which is Heather Murrell from our recruiting department.
Thank
All right,
you.
everyone pay attention. We have the most awesome employee of Prime here coming at you, Heather Merle.
Thank you, Joya. Hey guys, I just want to talk about referrals and hiring because we want more drivers. We want experience. We want students. We want it all. So the best people coming through here are our referrals because you guys are talking about the company and they're getting hyped up. They're committed. So referrals are absolutely our best hires, and then you get paid for it, right? So I'm going to talk a little bit about what you're going to get paid for a referral, and then also what things do you need to do to be successful in applying. So I never can remember this, so if you need a copy, let me know. But referrals, when you refer somebody and they haul their first load, you get $100. Then you get $500 when the referral stays 30 days. After that, you get another $500 when they stay 6 months and $0.25 cents per mile for every mile they drive after 6 months. Now, if you refer 3 different drivers and they stay 6 months, you get another $1,000. So if you're out there referring, it adds up really quick. People like our trucks. They usually call and they say, we saw how pretty your guys' trucks are. We want to drive for Prime. So we absolutely want you guys out there talking about it. If you have a recruiter already, let us know. We have business cards. We can write your code on them, and you can hand them out, and we can make sure we work specifically. Joya, you can say, call Heather, and they'll say, Joya told me to call. So now some of the requirements that you can do before you apply. I personally like people to apply, so I have a file to note things on. But you need a DOT physical and you need a Class A permit. Some states require the physical first before the permit. Some will let you get the permit and come back with the physical. It's just easier to get the physical first because then you don't have to go sit through the DMV twice because nobody likes that. Download the CDL Prep app to study. It's free. Your recruiter can send you the sections, but just to remind everybody, it's air brakes, general knowledge, combinations, and tankers. We require tankers because even in reefer, we may haul vats of liquid, things that will cause the trailer to shift. So yeah, I did want to mention, if you want to train and you're brand new, after 6 months, you can start training. You can make up to $100,000 in your first year. So that's a big incentive. So does anybody have any questions for recruiting? Okay, well, thank you so much, guys. Nice to meet you, Joya. Thank you.
I think we do have a question. What we got?
Yeah, this is Jonathan out here in Salt Lake City. I've got Dan with me. He just had a comment for Heather.
You mentioned that the recruiting has their own business cards. Drivers can actually also order their business cards as well through the Prime app, and it will include
Absolutely.
your driver code, your truck number, your recruiter's name and number. If there's, excuse me, if they're still with Prime, you can have all that information added in. It's $10 for 2 boxes of business cards.
Absolutely, totally worth it to have on hand. Thank you.
All right, let's give Heather a round of applause. You know, we work for a pretty awesome company, and we have the opportunity to welcome some new folks. We even brought a new associate here, and boy, that couldn't have worked out any better.
I know, man. I was standing here and they said, you know, Heather's right over. That's her recruiter. And I'm like, really?
If we were smart enough, we would have planned it like that.
But we're not that smart.
But it just happens organically, so we appreciate it. But in addition to our new folks, we also have the opportunity at these meetings to see some familiar faces that we see all the time, and we always are glad to see you here. But you know, just as glad as we are to see you here, we want to see you get out of here as quickly as we can and get back on the road and generate revenue. So I just want to say welcome home to our folks. And you waving or you got a question? Okay.
You're like that kid in the back of the classroom. You know what I mean?
But welcome home to our experienced folks. Hopefully we can provide whatever services you're here for, whether it's just to stop by to visit with your fleet manager, whether you're getting some work done in the shop, or maybe you're just stopping by for a quick break on your way down I-44. So tell us what you got.
Okay, I want to know, what is the biggest thing at Prime that we do that makes us different than anybody else?
You're asking me personally?
Yeah, what is the most important thing here at Prime?
You know, I'm not going to say what you think, okay? I think the most important thing that we have and we do is embrace this culture, okay? You probably thought I was going to say safety. But before that, embracing the culture, safety is right there at the top of that, but embracing the culture that Robert has created here for going on 55 years now, all right? This place wasn't built on smoke and mirrors. This place wasn't built on empty promises. We believe in what we say, and when Dave and I and any other speaker get up here, and even Sean over there talks about safety, we mean it. When we say, consider not driving, we mean it, because you don't have any hearts or lungs or ammunition going to the front line to save the world on your trailer. You've got food and food stuff. You've got some pharmaceutical drugs. You've got some big pipes. You've got some vegetable oil. I promise you, none of those commodities are more important than the man or the woman in the cab of that truck. Embrace the culture. You got a question, Keith?
No, I said, if I was answering that question, I'd go back to the first words I heard when I came here, and that's do your best, do what's right, and treat people the way you want to be treated.
Simple motto, simple motto.
Spot on, both you guys. And, you know, just like you said, Dan, culture doesn't happen overnight. You know, it's been here, and Robert's been working on this for years and continues. And that's, you know, it's part of his business model right there. And that's probably the most important. Like Dennis said, I'd have to agree with him. Culture makes a difference. And no matter what department you deal in, if you got problems, you got questions, there's somebody there to help you out. And that's what we want to do for all of our driving associates, is help you out, be your partner, make you successful. Because if you're successful, we're successful, our customers will be happy. And that's all part of the culture that goes into here as well. So, but good info, man. That's awesome.
You know, as we are quickly approaching the 55th year, we've grown so much at the trucking company. 24 years ago when Dave got here, 23 years ago when I got here, there was no Piston and no Salt Lake City, but they're alive and well now. So let's go east first. Who do we have with us? I think we got Rick Ifford. Good morning, guys, out east.
Good morning. You got Richard Brock here with you. Rick's joining me and Lisa's joining me too, though.
All right, good morning, team. Tell us what you got.
Good morning. You know, we got some icy weather that came through this last night. So roads are a little slick. They're getting pretty cleaned up and road crews are out there. You know, it will be a little bit more icy as you go up into the mountains. So be careful as you're going in there. We did have a really good orientation class this week and things are going really well. I will say, you know, you mentioned the service on that load. Guys, customer service is not just about getting the load there on time. Customer service is the way that we treat our customers, the way that we present ourselves to our customers. So, you know, instead of going in there in some flip-flops and, you know, a pair of basketball shorts, throw on something, throw on some shoes, maybe even a collared polo shirt. You can go down to the company store. You can get one of those real cheap and say Prime on it and look like a professional when you go in there. It's also about the communication on that load. You know, if you are running into some icy weather, or maybe you're feeling under the weather yourself, you're feeling sick, or you don't think it's safe to drive, please communicate that to dispatch. Let them get with our sales team and let's get with the customer and work out the details on that so that they know and they're aware of what's going on with that load. Again, we don't want to put you at risk. We don't want you in a situation where you're tired or fatigued or anything like that. Aside from that, I don't have anything new. No terminal updates. Everything's kind of going the same. We still have the additional parking and we've been able to clear out more of the space on the yard and keep some space there for you guys if you do need a safe haven to stop for the night. Come in here and get some food. Cafeteria's running 24/7, 365. That's all I got.
All right, sounds so good, Richard. Thank you for being here. And I know Richard's a Missouri guy, but you know, up in the upper northeast corner of Pennsylvania, they've got two things there. They've got Buffalo Bills fans, and they've got Philadelphia Eagles fans. So, you know, this will be a sorry for your loss on last week, but it'll be an interesting week here, not this coming weekend, but next to interact with our friends in Pittston. So I'm not going to let them rebuttal. So I'm going to just move on west. Good morning, Jonathan Grice out in Salt Lake City.
Good morning. How are you guys today?
We are doing fantastic.
Good, good. Well, luckily we've been able to avoid the snow and ice the last few weeks for the most part, but you always got to be ready for it out here. So just echoing what you guys are talking about, make sure you guys just take the initiative to be the captain of that ship. You know, if you feel like it's not safe, we're just going to take that for what it's worth and let you guys make those decisions. No one's going to talk you out of shutting down. So please, by all means, do what you think's right. From the terminal side of things, you know, I do want to, you know, reemphasize we've got a lot of shop capacity. You know, we're more than welcome to take on anybody that needs some extra work under their truck, trailer, APU, whatever it may be. You know, we can get you in and out of here really quickly. So just please, by all means, if you've got some stuff that needs to get done, you know, let us know. We'll get an appointment set up, get you through the assessment bay, express bay, whatever it may be, and get you back to work. One more thing I wanted to notate, we have seen a little bit of an uptick with lock violations coming through the plaza. Empty trailers, loaded trailers, et cetera. We got to make sure we have locks on there just to protect our equipment. So as you guys are doing your pre and post trips, just make sure we've got a lock on there and protect ourselves and our equipment. So appreciate all you guys do. Please be safe and let us know if you need anything.
All right, Jonathan, thank you so much. We appreciate you being with us. And of course, if anybody, you've already done it, has any questions, comments, or concerns, don't hesitate to step up to the microphone. So back here to Springfield, Missouri. How's it going so far this morning, guys? Meeting format has a pretty cool feel to it. We've got a few speakers out of the way. You know, we let them get their information out bright and early. So now they're available to hang out and answer questions if you need. Now it's time for Dave and I to talk a little bit. But one of the things I do want to say, Dave, is, you know, each one of our speakers pointed out some challenges already. You know, we got a little bit of an issue with putting some locks on some trailers. It's not the end of the world, but we can get that fixed. Of course, anytime we're talking winter weather, that means we've probably had some challenges this past week. But we're not a perfect company by any means, and we don't ever pretend that we don't have challenges, and we don't ever pretend that we don't have some areas that we can improve, or especially with communication. You know, this is one of the things we do to better communicate with our fleet. You know, we'll get, hey, I don't know what's going on. Tune in Friday mornings and you'll find out exactly what's going on, like so many other people do in the industry.
Yes, no doubt. And, we're talking about locks on trailers. Make sure you lock your trailer loaded or empty. That's very important. That's part of security too. Even if you have an empty trailer, I know you have no freight on there, but nobody can get in there. Nobody can mess around with it. Nobody can put something on it. And it's all of our responsibility. It's yours primarily, but it's also ours. We're all in this together. So lock that trailer, loaded or empty, is extremely important. So yes, Jamie, go ahead.
Okay, you guys are talking about locks, okay? I know most of the prime drivers use the locks, but now let's partner with Trans Am. I've been catching a lot of Trans Am that's pulling our trailers with no locks on it and they're loaded.
Okay, so.
And I guess Jacob just said Wilson too.
Okay, well, we'll let security know so they can reach out as well, and we'll get the fleet manager involved and we'll make it happen. So it's important. You got to let us know. If we don't know, then nothing's going to be done about it. So,
solutions-based communication. You said it right there, Jamie. A simple message to your fleet manager on your geotab. They'll forward it over to the appropriate associates on Security Bill's team, and they'll get it addressed. All right. Now here's the myth out there. You think we're going to give you $50 for telling on somebody, don't we?
Hey, Dennis, you give me 25? Come on.
No, we're not going to give you $50 for a report. We appreciate that information because we want to make sure that we address the mistake that driver made, but we're not going to pay you for that. But so, hey, but what was I had a point, but I don't remember where I was going.
Did you want to talk what?
Oh, I got it. Just that quick. Just looking at Dave made me realize where I was going. And that is, again, we're not a perfect company, as Dave is not a perfect associate. But
are you making fun of my shirt again, man? Come on.
That was somebody else.
It looks like Al Borland, but that's okay.
But in 2025, for the 10th consecutive year,
yes,
were awarded top fleets to drive for. So give yourselves a round of applause.
Yeah, in the 4th consecutive year in the Hall of Fame, baby. So yes, that's awesome. Great job to all of our driving associates. Another round of applause. Great job.
This past week we also had an event on Monday night where we awarded officially 268 new members to the 1 Million Mile Club, Accident-Free Club here at Prime. So give those folks a round of applause. That's 7 years of accident-free driving. That's a long time without, you being at fault for a mistake. And I don't know that in too many professions. I know definitely Dave and I have made a ton of mistakes in 7 years, but, these folks that we awarded here for a minimum 7 years, they haven't had any preventable accidents. So our hats off to those folks that we celebrated this week, and we appreciate what you do. We're going to have another one here coming up next month to celebrate the 2, 3, 4, and we've got a new crop of 5 million mile accident-free drivers this year. So we're really excited to get that done. On that night, fleet managers joined us on stage and shared some very compelling stories about, hey, this driver has been with me since day one. We had one driver say, hey, nothing personal, Robert or Darrell, but if my fleet manager left today and started a trucking company, I'm going with him. The most important relationship that we have here, me and Dave are fun. Our IT folks are always presenting nice tidbits and good news. You obviously just saw a bond between recruiter and new associate. Those are fantastic relationships. But there's no more important relationship in this company, and I'll even go so far as to say in this industry, than driver and business partner, which is your fleet manager. So we always like to get one of those fleet managers up here on a Friday. So I'm going to invite Josh Moore from our refrigerator department to come on up and talk about that relationship. I think you may even say the magic word down here. Do you know what the magic word in the safety meeting is?
No.
Cameras.
I will talk about those, but I'm going to talk about a few other things first. I want to say hi to my friend Richard and the folks up in Pittston, Jonathan out in Salt Lake City. everybody online, social media, a lot of new faces here. I want to welcome you here. And if you haven't got a sense of it yet, I wanted to make sure you get a sense of we're about people, okay? We're about relationships. And as Dennis said, this building is not built on smoke and mirrors. We care about each other and we care about you. And when you're talking about people, you're talking about safety. And when you're talking about safety, you've got to talk about process improvement. And when you talk about process improvement, you're talking about changes. And when you're talking about changes, you're talking about challenges. And I like to relate everything to sports. I'm a sports guy. Teddy, I can still beat you at horse. I see you back there in the back. I'm a sports guy. And when we're sitting here watching the Chiefs beat the Philadelphia Eagles in a couple of weeks, you know, we're going to watch that game. And we're going to sit on that couch or wherever you are. We're going to hit that replay button because you're going to see a touchdown and you're going to say, wow, that was awesome. How did he make that catch? You're also going to say, wow, man, how did you drop that ball? Let me see that. Man, I could have caught that ball. My point is, you're going to watch that game, and there's going to be points in that game where there's going to be a replay. Maybe it's the announcers do the replay, the producers for the TV. Maybe it's yourself. I oftentimes want to see something again. No different than that whole game is not going to be on replay, but there are times in that game where we want to see a replay, good and bad. And honestly, folks, that's no different than your day, okay? We're professionals. We're paid to drive and be safe while we're doing it. Now, we don't want the whole day to be replayed, but there are moments in that day where a replay may be good. Hey, man, you did awesome. I saw what you did there. You had space in front of you. Somebody came and cut you off. You created more space. You had somebody coming up on your left, somebody coming up on your right. You're on I-95 going around the Beltway in DC. Traffic everywhere. Emergency vehicles stopped on the side of the road. You navigated all of that. Fantastic job. That's a touchdown. How did you do it? I have no idea. And also, if you blow through that stoplight, you drop that pass, I want to replay it. I want to see it, and I want to talk about it. Now, look, when we announced these cameras last year, I wanted nothing to do with them. I'm being honest. I didn't want the challenges it was going to bring. I didn't want the process improvement. I didn't want any of it. My drivers, I've got 108. None of them wanted it. They came to me, million milers. Josh, we don't want this. And here's why. They had a list, and I agreed with them. I even went to Dennis Davis's desk with a million miler and said, Dennis, we're not doing this, and here's why. It didn't change much, but I've been compliant on my whole fleet for 90 days. Out of those 108 drivers, I've had 0 complaints. Matter of fact, it's the exact opposite of that. I have drivers call me and say, wow, man, did you see that? Did you see what happened? And I'll say, no, I didn't, but let me go back and take a look. And so I've got drivers calling me instead of the other way around. Check this out. Look what happened. I'm like, wow, how did you do that? Man, that is incredible. And for us to talk about what happened and not only see what happened, but see it together. The drivers can see everything the fleet manager can see. There's no difference in the about 10-second clip of whatever the event was. And for us to be able to talk through it from a fleet manager's perspective, it makes me feel like I'm a part of your team. I'm not just on the phone talking to you. I'm actually in your seat, being able to see what you saw. And it's incredible, the relationship that we had together. Tim right here, my guy, trainer, does a fantastic job. He didn't want the camera either. But now guess what? He got it and he likes it. And I want to just encourage you to know that this company is about people. We're about safety. And these cameras and the fleet manager relationship you have has done nothing but take us to the next level. And I want to say one final thing. for all of you folks out here that do a great job, and there's many of you that do, if you're thinking about training, if you know you can do this job and you want to help somebody because somebody maybe helped you, but you're a little bit leery, my biggest compliments on these cameras are coming from my trainers. And not only are they coming from my trainers, but they're coming from my trainers' spouses. I've had spouses call me and thank me because they have a peace of mind knowing that when their spouse is training and they're sleeping, that their trainee that's driving is being safe. And so if you're thinking about training, and as we get through January and February and into that second and third quarter where freight is just booming, now's the time to think about it, and these cameras will help you with the peace of mind. They will help you. I just want to say welcome to all the new folks. I'm excited to be a part of it. Some of you will end up on my fleet. I look forward to working with y'all. Are there any questions from a fleet manager perspective on how these cameras are working? They've been nothing but a blessing for me. All right.
Fantastic job, Josh Moore. Let's give him a round of applause.
Thank you. Appreciate it. You know, Dennis, I asked Josh a couple days ago, would you be willing to come up here and talk about cameras? I didn't tell him one way or the other. I didn't know what he was going to say, but man, he fits right in with all of us. You know, it is. And the one thing, it's kind of funny, we look at them now, a month or so in, you know, got most of the fleet, almost all of the fleet with cameras. It really opened our eyes to our in-house people, how much you all have to dodge and you have to watch traffic and how the traffic situations occur out in front of you and how people cut off trucks and, you know, just don't drive safe in general. And, you know, we're all held to that responsibility of being safe out there. And it is a challenge. It's your biggest challenge. And now we can see that, you know, and Josh brought it up, man. That's awesome that, you know, sharing, you know, looking at these videos and be able to see how hard your job really is at the end of the day. And it is, there's no doubt. So,
You know, here in the safety department, we've got just this blanket now, this peace of mind that, you know, a lot of times I go to these conferences or I talk to industry peers. One of the things they ask directors of safety is, what keeps you up at night? And, you know, I've got this laundry list of things that keeps me up at night. But one of the things that tucks me in and makes me feel a little bit better is we'll know the truth. Not one claimant vehicle out there will be able to say that prime driver did this. They can't lie on you anymore. They can't take advantage of, you know, some, you know, overzealous plaintiff attorney anymore, because we can see and show exactly what happened on your behalf. So.
yes, very good. So,
All right, so we talked a little bit about how to take care of yourself. We've enriched two types of relationships, the recruiter driver, and of course the most important one, driver fleet manager relationship. But we're also going to bring some folks up. Trent Ferris, make your way on up here. You know, it's really important that you take care of your equipment, especially, you know, in this time of year. Winter and machines just don't mix. But, you know, we got Trent Ferris up here. He's going to give you a little bit of information about how to protect it.
Thank you. Good morning. Yeah, so it seems like the last 5 or 6 times I've been up here, I've covered the same thing, and we're going to do it again this morning. I'm going to talk about anti-gel, but I've got a different angle this morning that I want to approach you guys with. We've got a new product that we've been selling here at our terminals for the last month and a half, a new anti-gel product that is a lot stronger than what we were selling before. So I need you guys to be aware, the new anti-gel that we have, the 32-ounce bottle that comes in, treats 750 gallons of diesel fuel. Okay, so you don't need to put a whole bottle of this anti-gel in one tank. If you do, it's going to be way too concentrated, and that could actually be a problem. So I wanted to show a couple of methods of measurement for you guys, a couple of options that are available to you. The first one, you can get in any truck stop. It's a cheap option. The poor man's option is going to be this bottle right here. Get one of these bottles of juice. This is an 11-ounce bottle. And to treat 100 gallons of fuel, you only need about 4 ounces of this anti-gel. So a little bit less than half of this bottle is going to be about 4 ounces. This is going to be a really quick, easy way for you to get the correct amount of that fluid in each tank. Fill the whole bottle up and put a little bit less than 1/2 in one tank, a little bit less than 1/2 in the other tank, and the remaining little bit can go in your reefer tank. Another option that I wanted to show you guys that we're going to be selling soon in the company store is this right here. This is going to be a pour and squeeze bottle. This will hold the entire 32-ounce bottle that it comes in. And this little section over here, you squeeze the liquid into, and it's exactly 4 ounces. So that'll be a quick, easy way for you guys to measure this out. And I want to give this out to somebody. So I'm going to do a giveaway and ask a question. What temperature do you need to start putting anti-gel? What temperature do you have to treat your fuel by? Go over here to this. 20 degrees. Yeah, 20 degrees, you got it. So come up here and grab this from me. Anyway, one other thing that I wanted to mention, thank you. One other thing that I wanted to mention was snow on your truck, and specifically when you're bobtail. If you are bobtail and it snows outside, you need to get out and make sure that snow is cleared off of your fifth wheel before you try and back under a trailer. That snow and ice on that fifth wheel can cause a real problem with hooking up and latching to the trailer. If there's too much ice in that apron, then it can cause the locking jaw to seize up. I had a question earlier this week. Somebody called me and asked, well, how do I get that snow off that fifth wheel? It's covered with grease. You know, anything that I try to sweep off that fifth wheel is going to get really dirty. So my solution was take a garbage sack and put your broom in the garbage sack and then just use that to sweep off your fifth wheel. So that's really all I got for you guys this morning. Thanks for all you do. Thanks for sticking it out this winter. Any questions about any of that you guys want to shout out? I don't see any hands, so we'll leave it there. Oh, one here, right here.
I know that as a trainee, my trainer may or may not have that bottle you just gave away. So how much is it and where do I purchase it so that I can make sure he or she has it?
So I found squeeze and pour bottles on Amazon, and you can always get those shipped to a drop box at a truck stop. We're going to be selling them in our company store, and probably 2 weeks we'll have them in stock. So any of our terminals you can route in, and we'll have them here as well. All right. Well, thank you all. Stay safe out there.
All right. Thank you, Trent. Let's give him a round of applause.
Look at this. Oh, Jacob Parker there gave off his prize. That's cool, man. She got her bottle. That's awesome.
Man, that's all right, Jacob. That's all right.
You're a pretty good guy, Jacob.
Despite what they say about you, Jacob, you are all right. That's right. That's right. Hey, you know, going back to Josh's comments, Jacob was one of those people cussing me out at my desk about cameras too, you know? So, but hey, who do we got next, Dave?
Coming up in our permit department, it's that time of year for getting the right stickers on your truck and being legal. So we're going to have Leanne come up from our permit department. So good morning, Leanne.
Good morning. I just wanted to talk for a minute about IFTA stickers. We have 1 month left before you have to have those on your truck. So if you haven't gotten them yet, go ahead and swing by and see us and get some while you're here. Or if you're on the road, we can send them out to you, or you can pick them up at any terminal. But we need to get those on by March 1st. Also, if you haven't picked up your Purple Hut sticker for New York yet, we still have a few here. So if you haven't picked that up yet, you'll need to get that on your truck. If you plan to go into New York, it's already past the grace periods that have those on, so you don't want to get cited. Cab cards are updated on the app. They expired at the end of the year for everybody. So if you want to print it out, you can get a copy off the app under My Permits. You can view it there. You can display it there if you get asked for it, or you can print out from your app as well. Or you can come see us and we can update your permit book for you and print it out for you. We are located in the Plaza building next to Driver Lineup. So if you want to bring your permit book to us, we can always update it and make sure you're good to go. And if you have your stickers and you haven't put them on yet, now it's been pretty decent weather, so it'd be a good time to do that if you haven't yet. I think that's about it.
All right, anybody got any questions for Leanne before we let her off the hook? Got one over here?
I just switched trucks. And when I went and saw you guys didn't have mine for my truck. And I was told that I'd end up getting a message when it was available. Is it still okay to run in New York without it?
You'll, if you came to us and we printed you out a temporary, then yes, you're good with that temporary.
Okay.
And if something happens to your sticker and you need a new one, just give us a call. We'll order a new one and get it temp for you.
Leanne, is there any way we can let the outbound techs know to spot the trucks, to set them inside, to let this be taken care of too?
I can look into that for sure.
You know what I mean? Because they're looking at every truck when they're fueling it, whatever, when they're each day when somebody's leaving. So why not have them remind the driver, oh, you need to go get your stickers?
Okay. Yeah, that's a good idea.
Just a quick tip. I got pulled into a way station in Wyoming one time and there was not any 5G or cell service. And the app obviously has everything that you need on there, but when you don't have connection to the internet, it's most likely not going to work. And they would not let me log into their Wi-Fi that they had at the way station. So it was kind of a sticky situation. I eventually found the hard copies in my truck. I had to dig them up. But they suggested to me, which is a good point, is take a screenshot of the cab card, the insurance card, and the things that they're always going to ask for. That way you have it on your phone and you can just show them a screenshot of it.
Yes, that's a good idea. Yes.
As a new driver, my trainee will have these things, but some of the expiration dates denote that I may be having to have them when I start driving, that after the 30 days. The truck will automatically have it when I first get on the truck, or I will have to make sure I'm in line with these expiration dates?
I would suggest when you get your truck, if you have to come see us to get the permit book for your new truck, we'll have already updated it. But if you find the book in the truck, bring the book to us so we can make sure you're all up to date and we'll get you squared away.
One of the tips I've heard previously was to make sure you take off the old IFTA stickers because it gives the inspectors a clue as to the age of the equipment. Is that still valid?
Yes, that's what, safety suggests. Because they might pull you in for an inspection if they see you've been on the road for however many years, if they're looking for something. So it's a good idea to peel them off and just display the current year.
All right, I think that's what we got. Thank you, Leanne. Appreciate you being here with us this morning.
Kind of leads us into our next part, our safety part.
All right.
You ready to rock and roll?
Let's do it. Go for it.
Leanne was spot on with those IFTA stickers and HUD stickers. Make sure you get those on your truck because then the enforcement people, especially at scales, they know exactly where to look. They know what color it needs to be. New York with their HUD sticker, they know they're looking for it too. And if you don't have them and it's past the date, it's a fine. It's called, a ticket. And you don't want to be paying that money out of your pocket because you don't have a sticker on your truck. So make sure you are prepared. Make sure you have them. This past week, we had 134 DOT inspections. 97 of them were clean, so a 72% clean rate. Give yourself another round of applause. So far this month, Dennis, this year, we haven't been below 70% yet. So great job to our operators on clean inspections. That's what we're looking for. That's what helps our CSA scores. On top of that, we had one seatbelt ticket, but it wasn't on our driver. It was on our co-driver. And so those situations, you have somebody in your truck, you have a passenger, or maybe your co-driver is sitting over in a jump seat, they need to be seat belted in, because if not, that inspection goes against the driver and you won't get that clean inspection. So anything happens inside the truck, it's on the driver. So even if the trainer's over in the jump seat, it'll still go on the trainee if he's behind the wheel or she's behind the wheel. So remember that. Also too, cell phones. We didn't have any cell phone. We did have one violation. The driver is using his tablet. And so that was written up. It wasn't a cell phone, but it was a tablet situation. So we've gotten better in those. Hopefully this next month, our CSA scores will come out here in another week or so for January. hopefully those numbers will improve, and that's what we're looking for, because that helps us out on getting stopped at scales and all that good stuff. So we want to stay away from that if at all possible. Did you have a question, Jacob? Oh, I thought you raised your hand. Sorry, man. So anyway, but you want to make any comments, Big D?
Just want to go back to, again, Josh Moore's conversation with you guys on how beneficial this new technology is. We're going back probably 6, 7, 8 weeks, and we're talking about 3 or 4 different violations that we had with handheld devices. So, and back before we had the cameras, we were getting 4 or 5 of these violations a week. That's 20 a month. When the competition's getting like we are now, maybe 1, if any. So now we're catching up with the competition, as it pertains to, that unsafe driving basic in our CSA score. And we're really looking forward to what the results will be, January, February, March, as things get better.
And the seatbelts the same way. You were getting 3 or 4 a week on those too as well, and those have dropped considerably. Understand, if you have a camera and you do get flagged for a seatbelt violation and you're wearing it, let us know. You can contest that on your geotab, and you can contest that on your driver eye app, and it'll get sent back to safety. But if you don't have the driver eye app, get a hold of us in safety. We need you to have that so you can look at the videos as well. And sometimes the camera will pick it up if you've got your code or something covering the seatbelt, it's covering up part of it. Yes, sometimes say you're not wearing your seatbelt, but if we could see it's kind of latched over on the side now, we will remove that video. It's understandable. We're looking at these cameras to get perfect, but they're not 100% perfect, but they have improved our compliancy rate, no doubt. And that's what it is, about getting better, Dennis, no doubt.
Providing that feedback, there's a feedback button on there. If you see an alert that you don't agree with, or you just want to provide some feedback, hit that feedback button, let us know what you think. But the other thing that I always want to tell people that have this camera, if something happens and you want us to see it, hit the button. There's a silver button right on the bottom of the camera. Hit the button. What that does is that gives us a place marker, a timestamp to start to look for whatever it is, whether you were backed into at a truck stop, whether you want to, like Josh is saying, somebody pulled out in front of you, you want us to see that, hit that button, we'll know exactly where to start our investigation process.
And you mentioned Josh earlier. There's been a few times in our safety department we've kind of butted heads with Josh. Josh will stand up for his drivers 100%. Sometimes on preventability accidents, Josh is one of these fleet managers that actually goes in, and as the driver has an accident, he'll go and investigate. He'll look at pictures. If they can't find pictures, he'll message me or one of us in safety and say, hey, can you send me pictures on this? I'd like to take a look. And that's great. That's the type of partners. And that's, I'd say, a large percentage of our fleet managers do that. And that's great. We all like to be friends and all that, but business is business. And he wants to make sure his drivers are being treated fairly. And that's awesome. It's great to have somebody like that, because he keeps us on our toes, number one, make sure we're doing our job properly. And, that's why I was a little bit nervous when I said, Josh, welcome to talk about cameras, because I didn't know which side he would go on this, but he's learned, and it is a learning process. I'm just like him. I don't like change neither, but Prime's been through so many changes throughout the years. You look at Qualcomm way back before I was here, but then we go to electronic logs and everything else, and Robert pulled the trigger on that. Heck, we went electronic logs before FMCSA said you had to go electronic logs, and there was backlash on that because Robert said we need to do this, we need to be involved, we need to get going on it, and we did. And we're cameras. There's a number of other things we've done and changes around here. If you don't like changes, it's hard to be in trucking because everything's a little bit changing all the time, and it is a heavily regulated industry, no doubt. And but we'll get there. We're doing good. We're doing a lot better than we were before. So.
Yeah, you got that right. Talking about electronic logs, I'm gonna bring Alex from our law department up. We always want to talk about what we can do to be better compliant with the FMCSA. Alex and members of his team help us with the hours of service portion of that. Good morning, Alex.
Good morning. Thank you. All right. So we kind of had a theme going on with the last two, which was the violations that we received here at Prime. So today we're going to talk about PC use and heading home. Let's see here. So we recently received, not a lot, it was one, but throughout the last month we have received a few violations for PC misuse. specifically for heading home. Now, it kind of gives a clear understanding of how DOT judges dead heading home, when dropping a load or if you do day cab. And so that's what we're going to review today. We had a few fleet managers a few months ago back in October, and I'm sure we had a safety meeting where this was mentioned, but it was in Joplin. It was a safety council, and the safety council went through a few things that they do while they're in Joplin. But one of the fleet managers had asked, what's their take on drivers finishing a load, and if they're close enough to home, to do that within what could be considered nearby, if they could use PC to head home. Now, their response was, well, specifically word for word, they have a civil liability to prevent accidents from happening, and just because the driver wants to head home does not mean they can break their hours of service. So now, if we go through the FMCSA side, I know there's this contention about, heading home, safety, and how far what distances are. But when it comes to PC, it has it listed as a nearby location that is safe for rest. So obviously we can't head to an area we're not allowed to park and use PC to get there. But areas for rest, stations that have an area that we can park, and anything like that would be considered safe. And so we would argue, someone may argue, well, what about home? If it's 20 minutes away versus 15 versus 10, can we head to locations that, we want to go to if they're nearby? But if we go through the site, there's actually an area for questions and answers. And there was a specific question asking, can we head home or to a terminal following the end of a load? Now, according to the FMCSA site, it says that we cannot return home to a terminal, home or to a terminal from a dispatched trip because it's considered a continuation of said trip, which, I understand it can be frustrating when you are that close. But, we're not saying you can't head home. It's just a matter of trip planning. And I know that can be difficult in itself because you're on the road, you're running into traffic conditions. There's customers that may take longer. But when it comes down to it, it's not about whether we want to or not allow PC use on it. It's what we're seeing for DOT, and to, give that information to you guys. For what we're seeing, DOT is, cracking down on it more. And so if you're using PC, let's just make sure that we're heading to nearby locations. And if you have a question, you can always contact your log advisor and see what options you have for PC within that area. I know a few drivers that'll end up, shutting down nearby, and they may do something where they take another vehicle, or, if there's an option to do those apps that allow transport, you may park the vehicle and then do that to head home. But just using PC for that, as of right now, we're seeing a crackdown on that. So I'm just giving that info out, while we're here today. Does anyone have any questions for anything related to that, or anything in regards to logs while we are here? Yeah.
Hey, let's get her on the microphone so everybody can hear you.
So I got PC permanently removed and I'm getting ready to train. How does that affect my training?
That's a good question. Your trainee won't be negatively impacted by your having PC permanently removed. We still will do the same due diligence to make sure that the PC is within whatever restrictions there are. We can't have a driver driving and then have the trainee in this instance, just go straight into PC. So there'll be things for that. It'll come down more to your log advisor. So what I would do is, if you already have your trainee, give your log advisor a call so they can review both of you together and see what they're doing from there. But from my understanding, it won't have them be permanently removed from it because that's not on them.
Yeah, just question the determinations. Is it? I know when you got home time and you have to drop the trailer off somewhere, you cannot PC. You have to be on the drive line. Right. So that also applies bobtail after you drop the trailer.
Right, and the specific question that was asked at the council was about that heading home. So no trailer, everything was dropped, and they said we wouldn't be able to use PC for that. So
that must be something new. Just as a general rule, if you got time on your clock and you're going home, just stay on the drive line. I mean,
yeah, 100%.
You're going to get a reset anyway.
Yeah, and in the violation we received recently, that's actually what happened. The driver had about an hour, and it was a 20-minute drive, 25-minute drive home, but they got dinged for it too. So yeah, if you have drive, please use drive. Yeah.
All right. Thanks, Alex. Appreciate you being here as always.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Alex. Good meeting today.
Hey, fantastic meeting today. What do you think about the new format here?
Hey, change. You know about me and change, Dennis.
Yeah, I know.
You can say it. Go ahead.
I know you're a dinosaur and you absolutely love change. You know, you love it when we change your email, your phones, your everything.
Yeah, I just love it. But hey, I get used to it. And sometimes it's for the best. If it's for the best, that's what it is.
Only thing consistent in life is change. We had a fantastic meeting. I want to say thank you to all of our speakers for coming down and giving us some fantastic information. Let's give those folks a round of applause. You know, at each of our locations, there'll be folks hanging out around, you know, the different areas where we have these meetings. And if you have a question about a specific area that you didn't want to get on the microphone, please ask those questions. If they don't know the answer, they'll get you pointed in the right direction. So, you know, we've got some technology experts over here on my right, Richard and Brianne. If you have any questions, Prime Mobile related, if you're not signed on to the Driver Eye app so you can see your videos, come on over here and they can get you taken care of. One of the things I want to encourage you to do when you start to come in and talk to your fleet manager, the safety department, the IT department, bring your tablet with you. We can sit and work with you and go through the process and show you how to log on, show you what button to push. You know, don't be technology adverse. You have that mobility now with the tablet to just bring it on in here, and we can help you out. So, hey, if you look around the room, folks have on red, and it's not because the Chiefs beat the Buffalo Bills, all right? It's because we are a company where we absolutely revere our folks that served our country in uniform. So if you are one of those folks, you defended our freedom in uniform in the armed forces, if you would stand for just a second and give us an opportunity to honor you. We appreciate you so much. You know, one thing I'm gonna ask, you know, for you social media users to do, tag us in your account, share this meeting with the folks out there. We learned so much that every vendor we talk to, every lawyer I talk to, every driver from other companies that I talk to, they watch this meeting. And I wanna make sure that as many clicks and views that we get to give out this information, we seem to do a fantastic job of getting it out to everybody else in the industry. I want to make sure that we primarily focus on our target audience, our folks that work here at Prime. So
yeah, that's important. We want everybody seeing this and watching it and be updated because, you know, at the end of the day, you don't know what's going on. One way to find out is by watching this meeting. So
good deal, good deal. I'm gonna ask Darrel Hopkins to come on up here. Darrel Hopkins, and I don't remember the date, but he has been named the president of Prime Incorporated, and I'm just here to serve at the pleasure of the president. Good morning.
I don't buy that a bit. I'll keep it brief, but I'll say this. I was especially pleased with today's meeting. You know, it started early when one of our drivers asked about what makes this company unique. And I've heard it today. I've seen it all week. It just really comes back to our people. You know, Keith said something about our mission statement, treat others the way you want to be treated. And to me, it's really what it comes down to. I mean, don't get me wrong. We think our equipment is the best. And we value our equipment providers, our vendors. They do a fantastic job. We think our freight network is the best. And we have fantastic customers. But at the end of the day, it's each one of you. I mean, we had events this week. We had the Million Mile Dinner on Monday night. 240 of our drivers hit 1 million safe miles this year. I mean, that's unbelievable. I mean, it's just crazy. But it tells you the quality of our people. Tuesday night, we had an operations event where we recognized the achievements of our in-house folks. And it was fantastic. Seeing the numbers that some of these folks have hit and worked with our drivers to achieve was crazy. You know, and even today in this meeting, this wonderful young lady right here started bragging on Dee, bragged on Heather, and she's clearly pretty awesome herself. I'll tell you until that many years ago that every person hired into this company had to be interviewed by the owner, Robert Lowe. You didn't get hired, and I don't care if you were the in-house attorney or if you were one of our cafe workers or janitors, you had to be interviewed by Robert and accepted because he only wanted the right people in this company. And when we recruit, our standards are well above everybody else's. You surround yourself with great people and you achieve great things. And that's really what this company's done. We just have great people. That's our drivers, our in-house, it's our vendors, our customers. We've surrounded ourselves with just great people. So be proud of who you are. Be proud of being associated here. As a unit, we make a fantastic force. I think safety says it all. It says we care about you. At the end of the day, that's why we call it our highest calling, because we care about you. And as long as we do that, we're going to be the most successful company on the planet. So thank you all very much. God bless, and please be safe.